Hey, what's up, guys? So, here's another study vlog episode for you guys. So, in today's vlog, I want to talk about how I've been kind of struggling with this idea of managing priorities because it's officially the fourth week of school, and next week already starts my first exam, and after that, it's going to be a stream of exams, continuing on from there. And honestly, I gotta say that just this importance of realizing what is my main priority. And my main priority is honestly to focus on school and not on too many extracurricular things. But I've been finding it very difficult lately because a lot of my time is spent interacting with people and socializing with a lot of my friends who actually attend a lot of the extracurriculars at my school. So there's just this kind of gap between me constantly focusing on my academics versus me constantly trying to be social and maintain good friendships. Of course, there's a bit of an importance of balance here, but it's important that you don't make it that unhealthy for you. So things started to get a bit more unhealthy for me this week because I ended up skipping out on a lot of days I wanted to exercise or work out. And of course, that's important because in graduate school, of course, you're given a lot more information, and it can be difficult to stay on top of all of that. But during that time period, I had to kind of make sacrifices because I knew I wanted to try all these new things that I felt would give me a bit more traction in school. So some of those things included reading lectures before the day of class, dressing up in a way that I feel comfortable and confident with before going into class. And all of these things kind of spoke volumes to me because I wanted to make these big changes, but I was losing time for my health or some important things that do matter. So it definitely is challenging, to be able to find that sweet spot of time management where a lot of your time is being spent on your biggest priorities. So some things that I'm trying to do to kind of fix that is I've been using Pomodoro timers, spending a lot of time in the library. So there's this kind of interesting thing that I thought of this week. I noticed that when I don't go to the gym for a long period of time, similar to the time period I'm living right now, it's kind of similar to how in the past I would go to the gym almost all the time and spend a lot less time studying. But in graduate school, I spent a lot more time studying than I do in the gym. So in a sense, I kind of see it like the library is kind of a gym, but it's a gym for your mind. Your mind or your brain is a muscle. So this is kind of cool. So if your brain is a muscle, which it technically is because it's working every day just like a muscle, because if you don't use your brain, it becomes weaker. It's not able to handle large volumes of information. It kind of explains why some people don't do good on their tests or some people have difficulty reading. It's because they don't exercise their main muscle, which is their brain. It's when I had this idea, it just blew my mind because if you want to perform amazingly at school, you need to practice. You need to put in the reps on your brain, be able to consume the information that's gonna get it to this higher level. And that absolutely blew my mind because, if you're able to think at a certain level that a lot of people have difficulty, or if you're able to master yourself, basically master your time and master your brain, of course that's a recipe for success right there. You're gonna perform better at school, and I can't imagine success that wouldn't have those pieces in place. Of course, there are some exceptions, people who do drop out of school, but still, you see the work ethic. I see a lot of entrepreneurs who do drop out of school. They spend a lot of their time reading and learning new things. to start their own business. So learning really doesn't stop. And I was listening to this podcast recently, the College Info Geek podcast by Thomas Frank, and he talked about this idea how what if we always remain stagnant, you know? And his conclusion from that was that if we stay stagnant, we're going to get left behind because the world is constantly changing. The world is constantly, in a sense, evolving. So if we just coast through life and just sit around and do nothing, we're not going to really get anywhere. And that's not healthy. It's not good for anyone. It's not good for society. It's not good for you, because you need to be kind of challenging yourself every day to become a better person. I always try to adopt this mindset of being better than the person you were yesterday. That's the only person you should be better than. No one else. Don't compare yourself to other people. So something interesting today, I'm just gonna tell you guys that I'm filming this vlog in the library of my school where I went to undergrad in, and it's kind of cool. There's a bit of an echo around here because it's a library, but it's just amazing to be back in here and vlogging. I never thought I'd come back in here vlogging. I used to come in here with my friends. We would be studying until super late. I remember studying anatomy and physiology in here. I think I studied biology in here at one point, but you know, it just shows how much I've grown over the years since undergrad. To be able to come back here and relive those memories, like, I know it was a hard time. I know the material felt overwhelming at the time, but it's just like, it goes back to that idea of our brain as a muscle. You know, you attack it with certain dumbbells, like you start with a 5 pound, and then you go to a 10 pound, and then you go to a 25 pound. I think studying is kind of the same thing, because the more we study, the more we can kind of challenge our brain with. And that idea is absolutely amazing. So before I start filming this, I just recently just finished a video call with our regional director for this organization I'm in, and it made me realize that I need to work on being able to voice myself and be able to stand up for what I believe. So that's something I've been working on a lot lately, and I'm also trying my best to do better here on YouTube. That's something I've also been working on. I'm trying to put out great content for you guys, be as creative as possible, and film great content, you know. Of course, with the amount of schoolwork I get, it can be a bit challenging, but, you know, any moment that comes, if the time is right, if the environment is right, if I got my camera in front of me, I'm gonna film. So regular classes have started happening now. So I've been kind of incorporating my iPad Pro into my workflow now. So I would in class, I would highly suggest this for students to alternate between your iPad Pro and your Mac or whatever PC you use, because you'll never know which is your best device. So I use my iPad Pro to keep myself awake during class, because sometimes our classes are at 8 in the morning and finish at 5, and that's just crazy because it's really hard to stay awake that long. So I would be in class writing notes on my iPad Pro, and if I'm falling asleep, I would just stare at the slide and kind of think of more notes I could write on it. And that just about blew my mind, because it really does work. It really does keep me awake. So I would highly recommend that if you're having a difficult time staying awake in your class and your professor sends you the slides that you can look at before class, just work on writing some notes in there, summaries, simplifying difficult topics. So the topic for the class I was going over was medicinal chemistry. So it's all these organic chemical structures, and who could stay awake in a class like that, honestly? So I definitely did enjoy incorporating this method. I think it really did keep me awake. And with this upcoming school year, it's just important to experiment with all different types of learning styles, all different types of note-taking styles, so you can find what works for you. So I found that I work great when I have something in front of me that's kind of pushing me forward, like seeing my iPad Pro and all the work I put into getting this device and to putting out creative content into the world. Every time I see this device, I always immediately, this thought comes into my mind that when I'm on my iPad Pro, I'm either creating something or working on a big project. There's always something important every time I see this device. So that's kind of cool. I've been getting a lot into clothing lately. I've been experimenting. Haven't really been dancing lately. So if you know me, or if you follow me on Instagram, I really do enjoy dancing and exercising. But you know, it's school back to school season. Everyone has to get back to work, so it's just been difficult, honestly. But definitely, when things start to slow down, I'll definitely get back into it and start making more videos for you guys. Yeah, if you didn't know, that's some Millie Rock, but I gotta say that the classes are definitely in full swing. Starting next week, things are about to get really tough. So we'll see how things go. Hope you guys enjoyed this update vlog. Tomorrow is Thursday, so I'll probably try and upload a new video by the end of this week. But I usually upload on Fridays, but the next morning after that Friday, I have a early morning screening at the park. It's a health screening where we take blood glucose and blood pressure of certain patients who want to get free screenings. So we'll see how that goes. It's at 6 in the morning, so I'll be sure to get some early sleep and finish my studying. And before that, even before recording this video, I was working on some Anki flashcards. If you guys didn't know, Anki is a great way to study. I watch a lot of medical YouTubers who use it. So also, I realized this week about the importance of getting your voice out there, because I remember commenting on this medical YouTuber's Anki video, and I asked, hey, how do you kind of put your text to the left? Because Anki normally puts the text centered for flashcards. And the next day I got a reply, but it wasn't from the YouTuber who made the video. It was from another YouTuber who watches this person's videos. And this person gave me advice on how to put the text on the flashcard on the left and on the right. And I found that absolutely amazing, because if we're able to just put content out and give help and receive help from other people when we need it or when we want it, that's absolutely amazing. So I would highly recommend it. Don't be afraid to use your digital social media. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. I struggled with this for years, and I'm even struggling with it right now, honestly. So I hope this video helped you. I'm gonna work on doing probably editing vlogs in the future, and hopefully my exam next week goes well. It's my first exam of the school year on integrated therapeutics, so I'll probably update you guys on that on the next vlog. Still updating the podcast too, so don't forget to check there. Working on on 2 websites actually, so we'll see how that goes. So I will see you guys in the next video, and as always, stay awesome.